as usual, we're gonna get right into it. So I watched Primate. Is this a movie review? I think this is a movie review. I want to start off by saying that this is a good movie to watch with a group of friends. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I also want to preface this by saying I watched none of the promotional interviews, and I'm going to be speaking about this movie as if you've already seen it. So, spoilers ahead. Right off the bat, I can say that I like that this was a cast of actors that I've never seen before in my life. I don't know them from a can of paint. And yes, keep it coming. I like it like that. I was almost immediately put off by the family, but I really liked Hannah. Our first introduction to Lucy is her sitting in Hannah's seat and being a bit salty that she was asked to move. Mind you, Hannah was invited to Lucy's place. Like, she's not Lucy's friend, she's Kate's friend, but Kate, who is Lucy's best friend, invited Hannah. So she's essentially been invited to this stranger's house who she's never met before. So if you ask me, the best solution was for maybe Kate to sit in the middle, and then so she can facilitate Hannah and Lucy meeting each other. That's what made the most sense to me. Anything would be better than Lucy being in the middle and potentially isolating Hannah, both literally and figuratively, on an island of her own. Fast forward, and we're at Lucy's house, which is on the cliffside of a Hawaiian coast, where we meet her father, who is deaf, and we meet her sister, who's upset that she left for college, for school. Okay. It's at this point where I begin to question whether or not I'm supposed to like the family. To reiterate, this is a Caucasian family living in a large home on a Hawaiian coast, Hawaiian cliffside. And because I don't know anything about the directors, the writers, or the producers, I'm not sure if this is a little bit of tone deafness or if the audience is actually supposed to like and sympathize with these people. Regardless, I wanted Hannah to live. And hey, I'm biased. You know, Hannah fits the mold of what I think a final girl should be. If you want to know more about that, check out my video on the topic. So yeah, interesting group. Both Lucy and Hannah also showed interest in Nick, and from what I've seen, that was going to be Hannah's man. Sorry, Lucy. They play a little bit of a prank on Hannah and introduce them to their pet monkey, Ben. She was rightfully a little bit freaked out. I wonder where the inspo for that name came from, Ben? Because off rip, I'm immediately thinking of that rodent that Michael Jackson was singing about. Maybe that's a reach. I see horror movies are still using the most basic names you can find, which, hey, maybe I should cut them some slack at this point. But I can name 3 Hannahs off rip. Skipping ahead a bit, it reveals that Ben got bit by a rabid mongoose. I will say this movie likes to pick and choose when it wants to give an accurate depiction of rabies. Ben is going fully rabid within 24 hours of being bit by this mongoose, and according to my knowledge and research, that is just not how it happens. Rabies is known for being a very slow-moving virus, considered untreatable after symptoms present. And that incubation period before seeing any symptoms is estimated to be anywhere from weeks to months. There's several factors that contribute to that incubation time, such as bite location. So, to my understanding, the closer to your head, the sooner you're dead. Relatively. Not to mention, Ben, despite being rabid, is sneaking around, using tools, finding ways to get to his victims like he's Jason Voorhees. He's not supposed to have any sense. I'm so confused. And I get it, sometimes you need to have a little movie logic to drive a narrative. But in this case, I'm not even sure if it was necessary, because a wild animal can turn on its owner at any time. It could have been as simple as that. Fast forward, Ben bites the sister and they jump in the pool to get away from him because he is rabid. He is afraid of the water. Nick dies first due to pure foolishness. And I hate to say that because he was very brave and he seemed like a good guy. But his bravery would have been better utilized not trying to push a monkey off a cliff. I will say it was a nice touch that we followed Nick off the cliff. Usually when a fall like that happens, it's pure silence from shock or complete chaos. So a good job there, filmmakers. Kate is the second to go, and it's a shame because Kate protected Lucy when both of them were running around upstairs trying to hide and get away from Ben. But Just a few scenes later, Lucy was leaving Kate in the dust. And this right here is what pissed me off the most. She hears her friend screaming, and she runs back only to scream in Ben's face while he bashes Kate's head in. Lucy, respectfully, you did not move with intention, okay? You did not lead with action. You ran up there like you were going to go and scream in Ben's face while he bashed Kate's head in. You can argue it was too late all you want. I'm not hearing it. Because a millisecond later, when Lucy was trying to get back in the pool, Hannah got up about the pool. She said, "I'm coming, Lucy. Lucy, I'm coming." And she distracted Ben so that Lucy can get back in the pool. She moved with action. She moved with intention. Hannah did that. And y'all, they don't even vibe like that. They're not even friends. But you couldn't do that for Kate? Lucy, this is your animal. You should have been behind Kate. Moving on. At some point in the film, they did manage to call two guys that they were flirting with on the plane ride earlier. They arrived and they soon died afterward. There was one scene that I was gonna call amusing. Looking back at it, it was just a bit odd. Ben the monkey basically mounts this guy, right? Pins him down to the bed and then gives him, the most brutal death. Like, he got Jessica. If you know, you know. But my thing is, why did he get on top of him like that? Does Ben need a lesson in consent? I didn't know what to make about that, but okay. It's around this part that Hannah makes a mad dash for the car. Like, I'm talking, they play the most heroic music in the background and everything. And this is yet another reason why I question if we as an audience is supposed to like Hannah more than Lucy. Because Hannah is portrayed more likable in general. She is. She immediately comes off as more confident. She had a right to be wary of Ben in the beginning. She pulled Nick. If that matters, she pulled him, or she was going to. She wasn't wrong when she said Ben needed to be shot, and she had the best plan to escape. She just grabbed the wrong car keys. Unfortunately, it's a shame. And it was at this point that I realized Hannah's death was the promoted one that was released. I didn't even notice at first. So yeah. Heartbroken. R.I.P. Hannah. But you know what? This is just another missed opportunity. They could have made her death the promoted one and then just let her live when the movie came out and misdirected the audience. Soon after this, the dad comes home because he's worried for his girls. He does get messages at the event from the vet that says that mongoose was infected with rabies, in which his response was, "Oh, there is no rabies in Hawaii." Well, there's not supposed to be monkeys either, sir, but yours is here, so. The whole family has a standoff against Ben, and they all survived. Some more battered and beaten than others, and that was Primate, more or less. I will say they did a pretty good job with the gore, but dare I say they could have taken it a step further. After all, monkeys are known for ripping off various appendages. And I know exactly the scene where they could have used it. Is that too brutal? Is that too much? Well, that's all for today. This was a relatively short video, it being a movie review. I can see myself doing more movie reviews in the future. But I do hope you enjoyed, and I may or may not see you next week.